Hey guys, welcome to Christina Cakes It. I'm Christina and today I'm showing you how to add gold drips to a cake. It is no secret that I love the color gold. I love gold jewelry, I love gold nail polish, I love gold dresses, and I love gold on my cakes. And adding a gold drip to a cake is a really easy way to kind of make it more chic and dress up a cake a little bit. And I had planned to do a cake with some gold drips, so I thought it would be a perfect time to film the tutorial for you guys. So adding drips to a cake is very simple, and one thing to know is depending on the type of chocolate that you're using, you do need to use a different ratio of cream to chocolate. And for gold drips, we are using white chocolate. Essentially, to make the drips, we are making a white chocolate ganache. And what I have here is 1 cup of white chocolate chips and 1/3 cups of heavy whipping cream. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply heat my heavy whipping cream, and we don't want it to boil. And because this is such a small amount, I'm actually just gonna heat this up in the microwave for about 40 seconds. And I want it to be like steamy and like a little bit of bubbling, but I don't want it to scald. So in the microwave for 40 seconds, and then I'm gonna check it. So my heavy cream is warm, and the next thing to do is just pour it over the chocolate chips, and we're gonna let this sit for about a minute. And after this has been sitting for about a minute, I'm just gonna start stirring this, and we want this to come to a smooth consistency. And if your chocolate is not completely melting, you can heat this up in the microwave just for a very short amount of time, like maybe 10 more seconds. So just keep stirring to get that smooth ganache. So I'm gonna help this mixture out a little bit by just popping it into the microwave for 10 seconds. So my ganache is nice and smooth now, and something that's going to be very obvious is even though we use white chocolate, and this is called white chocolate ganache, this color is actually ivory, which works really well for the gold drips because it kind of uses it as a base color. But if you wanted a true white drip, you would add some white icing whitener to this. You could also at this point add some gel food coloring to make colored drips. But for me, I like the ivory for the gold drip, and so I want this to come to room temperature. So this is really important. You don't want it too hot because it'll run off the cake, and if you get it too cold, it will be like too thick, and nobody wants like a thick drip. So bring to room temperature. It really just needs to sit for, this probably just needs to sit for like 3 or 4 minutes. So my ganache has cooled slightly, so this is like perfect temperature for putting on the cake. And I have my cake here, and something that is crucial is your cake has to be cold. So this cake was actually in the refrigerator overnight. I would actually refrigerate your cake at least an hour. You need a cold cake so that it will like stop the drips from completely running off the cake. So very important, cold cake. So my vision, I think I'm actually gonna do like half a drip on the cake because I think I'm gonna cover the rest with flowers. So I'm just using a spoon. I've seen people use like squeeze bottles. You can totally do that, but for me, a spoon works just fine. And I'm just gonna slowly start adding the drips. And a great thing about drip cakes is that they also hide flaws. So when I was frosting this cake, I wasn't super worried about a sharp edge because I knew I was going to cover it with drips. So kind of just like a little cheat when you're cake decorating. So some of my drips are going all the way down to the bottom of the cake, which that's fine. I can color them gold, but what that means is I need this to cool a little bit more because it's still a little bit warm on the cake. So let it cool a few more minutes. I'm gonna go back over and add some shorter drips. So when I have my drips of various sizes and I'm happy with how it looks, I'm gonna add just a little bit more to the top. and spread this out. And next, we have to let this dry because we're gonna paint gold over it. So I'm taking my time here, and where I want the drips to go, I'm kind of just pushing the chocolate over. I'm gonna end up covering most of this with flowers, so I can probably just stop there. So the drip has set, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm simply going to paint it using gold luster dust, and this is gonna make the gold drip. So I'm just gonna mix a little bit of luster dust and vodka to make like a paint-like consistency. Fun fact, we have a whole bottle of vodka that I use just for painting cakes. And when you're using luster dust to paint, you should plan to have to do a couple of coats to get the color that you want. So I usually do 2 or 3 coats. And I'm just gonna be painting over the drips to give that gold look. So after I have given this a couple coats of gold paint, I'm gonna finish dressing up the cake by adding just a little bit more gold elements, and I'm gonna decorate it with some flowers to make it look, in my opinion, very beautiful. And that is all there is to it, to add a gold drip to a cake. And as you can see, add a few flowers and it looks absolutely stunning. And I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this technique, and I hope you try it. And if you did like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.